Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Juarez and I am so glad that you're here. It's been a very rough week and I just felt like I needed a pamper night, and I felt like I needed to talk also about being resilient and getting back up on the horse, if you will, when things are hard and things are tough, and just kind of what I've learned. I've done a lot of that as I've gotten divorced at a very young age. I'm still going through this and I'm still figuring this out as much as you are. So think of this more as a friend coming alongside of you and giving you some advice, and less of me coming from a place of I know everything and I have this all figured out, because guess what? I really don't. And I don't think any of us really have it all figured out, if we're being honest. And that is the real tea. Speaking of tea, this would be the perfect time to pause the video and grab yourself something cozy. So tea, coffee, matcha, whatever your jam is. I am drinking some honey lavender tea and I feel very fancy with my honey lavender tea. And if you do watch my videos and cozy up and do something or bake something or craft something, please share it on your story and tag me, because it makes me so happy to see that. I'm just so grateful for you. But I think it's so cute that we can hang out in this way and just feel a lot less lonely together. I just want to show you everything I do at night, because it's really become a very special time in my day. So the first thing that I do is take my supplements. I'm going to take off my makeup, so I have my little bowl of water. I guess I just want to start off by talking about my reason for filming this video. First and foremost, I just wish that I had had a video like this to watch when I was going through stuff. So that's pretty much why I make all my content, is because of that, because I had literally no content to watch when I was going through everything. So the other reason for filming this is because I have had a really horrible week, or actually 2 weeks. I just kind of want to talk about them, and also I want to talk about my raw emotions with going through those things, because I think you hear of people going through stuff and they don't actually share. They just share oh, I got through it, but what did you actually feel during that time? Because I'm pretty sure you weren't as triumphant as you're making it seem, Basically, I went to dinner with my friend from church, and we had, trying to have a lovely time, but a storm started right as we got there, and it started very abruptly. And basically, to keep a long story short, we were sitting by a window that had previously had a crack in it, and then we realized that it was starting to kind of shake and move and shift a little bit with the storm. So we decided to move, by the grace of God, a table over, and about 5 minutes later, the entire 8-foot window exploded into the restaurant. So we were very fortunate that we did not get hurt, not a scratch on us. Nobody did. I mean, talk about a blessing from the Lord, because she was the one that was maybe we should move. And I was oh, okay. But we weren't going to move, really. I mean, I wasn't planning on moving when we heard the window. So I'm very glad that we're okay and we're safe, but that was stressful. After that, I was, feeling really good with my relationship with God and being wow, He protected us and everything. He's He really goes before us and behind us and beside us, that kind of whole vibe. And then on Sunday, I got into a car accident. I was driving in the snow. I was going to go take some photos. My car basically slid into the back of somebody's car because of the ice, and there was really nothing I could have done to avoid it. It was nothing, my neck is sore. I'm really thankful I'm not hurt more, and they're okay, and I have insurance and they have insurance, but it really sucked. And I think the reason I want to talk about this is because it brought up so many emotions and made me feel really horrible for that rest, almost the rest of the day. Which leads me to kind of the next thing I want to talk about, which is the fact that I have been struggling with my relationship with food. And if you watched my New Year's resolution video, I'm trying to work on my relationship with food this year and become fully healed from that. I've taken some really good steps and I made a lot of really great progress, but that incident really shook me up. Your brain starts making a bunch of different kind of connections that don't honestly really make any sense. But I will literally sit here and tell you exactly what I said to myself and to my mom on the phone, and what I was feeling in that moment. I'm a little bit anxious talking about this because it's very vulnerable to share this, but that's where darkness thrives if we just keep stuff bottled up and we don't actually talk about it. I'm gonna start just some like scalp massages. This is something I do, just giving my scalp a little bit of love to increase blood flow to my hair follicles and start to grow out my hair more. After divorce, I lost a lot of hair, so I've been really working and putting a lot of attention on growing out my hair and just keeping it nice and healthy. When I got into the car accident, first of all, it made me super nauseous, and I was like, great. So that's what started it all, is right there, as I was like, okay, well, I feel nauseous because I ate too much. And it's like, no, you just got into a car accident. That's why you feel nauseous. So I felt nauseous, and then I was like, I shouldn't have eaten all that food because now I feel nauseous. Well, I just shouldn't have eaten all that food in general, right? So then it starts like spiraling to this mess. And it just ties into this whole idea of control, and in turn goes to food. And it's like, well, I need to control what I'm eating because that will make me feel like I have control in my life. This is the Dry Remedy Daily Moisturizing Leave-In Oil from Aveda. It's seriously amazing, and I've been using it for like 12 years. So please get yourself this. This is incredible no matter what kind of hair type you have. It's very light leave-in oil, and I just put it at the ends of my hair because the situation was out of control. It just made me want to control my food again more and more and more. These are just things that, like, I just want you to know that when you have like these kind of really manic and irrational thoughts about really anything, it doesn't have to be just food, but you know, even about like, you know, a relationship or what you could have, should have, would have said about something, it doesn't mean that you're a crazy person. It just means that you have emotions and feelings, and that it gets really hard and confusing. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty level-headed person about things, yet I was laying in this bed telling my mom that I felt like the reason I got into a car accident was because I had breakfast. I know that that's completely irrational, but when you're in a state of sheer panic about things, you resort to the irrational thoughts. That's where your brain starts to go. It also triggered feelings of inadequacy regarding my ex-husband because I felt like, first of all, I can't even drive myself in the snow. So first of all, I can't do things by myself. Second lie was that I, you know, am just a bad person and make bad choices, and I got into a car accident and that's why he wasn't with me, is because I do dumb things like this. That was the second lie. Third lie was that I get manic after things like this happen, so no wonder he wouldn't want to be with me. It starts to spiral into all of these different things that were really not true and are not true. And I'm telling myself this, but I'm still working on really believing that, because a part of me still feels like somebody is not going to want to be with me, because I do start to spiral when things like that happen. It's something I'm working on, but I do get like that. And so it makes me worry, oh no, like somebody would never want to be with me because I get like that. And I'm not sure if you've also felt like that, but that's how my brain works, and it is frustrating. All in all, I just felt like I had a loss of control over my emotions, over my food. I was questioning God. My mom just reminded me that God does not punish us. That's not who he is. That is not his character, is punishing us for things. So I think that Satan really would like us to believe that he's here to punish us, but he's not. He's a loving father who wants good things for us. We live in a fallen world where sin happens, and there's nothing we can do about it because there is a separation from God here on earth. I was reminded recently that that's what got a lot of people in the Bible out of bad situations, is because they trusted and believed God anyway, and he came through once they had that faith. And that just inspires me a lot to continue to have faith even when things are hard and they're confusing and I don't know why they happen. I know he always shows up. He always shows up, even when I feel like, okay, God, this time you're really gone. No, he will always be there no matter what. So Moving on to some skincare, we're going to start with a mask. I'm going to be using the Amazonian white clay mask. Oftentimes, small, seemingly like normal things can actually really trigger you in some big ways. I know for me, certain movies, certain TV shows, and songs will trigger me into a huge spiral, even something that somebody says. And I think the biggest topic I want to talk about in this video is feeling like this loss of progress when you get triggered in any way, whether it be an incident or whether it be like you watched a show or a movie, like some sort of media. That's how I was feeling after the accident. I was feeling like, great, I've lost all my progress, like my health is going to be so bad now because I'm stressed. Now I'm going to, like my stomach's going to be horrible. Now, like, all the progress I made with like self-love is just completely gone. Yeah, I probably lost a little bit of progress in terms of like maybe my stomach is not going to be great for the next couple of days, and maybe my skin is not as good because I'm stressed, but that doesn't mean that all that other work that I had been doing on myself is for nothing. Like, it is for something, because you know why? I was able to recover from that. It is now 2 days later, and I'm sitting here doing a face mask on video, and I worked today, and I drove the next day. Like, I'm just saying all that, is not to toot my own horn or anything, but just to say that, like, I feel like a few months ago, I would have been not okay. Like, after that, I would have been like, no, I'm not driving. Like, I'm not doing it. But because of all this work I put in therapy and talking with family and friends and going to church and like, working on bettering myself and all those things, I feel like I was able to recover pretty fast. And, I don't know, to me that's big progress. If a little setback happens with like, let's just say you do watch like some sort of media or something that like really triggers you and you feel like, great, like because I did that, now I've lost all my progress. You definitely have not. You've not lost all your progress. You are still a human being who has emotions, and things are going to be harder on some days. I'm going to let this mask dry, and then we'll wash it off, and we'll talk about some of the thoughts that I have at night and how I feel like that ruins my progress like every night. The mask is dry, and now I'm going to wash this off. Oftentimes when I'm trying to fall asleep, I will start to panic and think of everything that I should have said all those years ago or months ago or whatever it was, and the thoughts get so loud that I cannot go to sleep, and I'm just laying there. Sometimes instead of just saying, okay, hey, this isn't helpful, let's just put this away, I start thinking about, okay, well, now that I've done this, now I'm like ruining my progress again by like spiraling before bed. Oh no, like you're gonna have a terrible day tomorrow. I never lit my candles. So there's 3 parts to this. It's, the racing thoughts, and then beating myself up about having racing thoughts. And then I have 2 choices, and this is where I feel like I've been really doing a lot better recently. The first choice is just spiral and then stay up and then just scroll and, not really actually go to bed and then actually have a terrible day tomorrow because I'm so tired. Or literally taking a giant deep breath, maybe a few, and just saying, God, I need you in this moment. I literally am having so many thoughts, and I'm just going to think about you. So now I'm not even thinking about like telling you about all the thoughts. I'm just thinking about, God, you are so peaceful. You give me peace, you give me stillness, you are love, you are joy, you are good always. Wow, God, isn't it crazy that like you are so faithful to me? Like, oh my gosh, remember that thing that you did? That was so good. And now I'm like doing gratitude, What's really awesome is you can actually see that when you have like a spiral and you're able to like stop it before it gets really bad, you can actually kind of do a little celebratory dance party, because that is progress. Like not letting yourself spiral and feel bad about like maybe ruining your progress or taking steps backward. Well, you actually just like got a little boost, like a little level power up in a game where you just like you did even better. You not only stopped the spiral, like you were able to stop that spiral and possibly turn it into a positive thinking as well, and have a better day and recover from that easily. And that is progress, and that should be something you're so proud of. So those are all really great signs. And if you're not there yet, don't feel bad. Like, this is not a moment for you to shame yourself or anything. We're all doing this on our own time, but that's just where I am as somebody who is almost 8 months post-divorce. So that's where we are. So for example, with the car thing, you know, I feel like that really should have shaken me up for the entire week. I feel like I should still be in bed, ridden, you know, not even able to do anything at all. But here I am doing my skincare and actually filming a YouTube video and feeling pretty good. Now I'm going to kind of talk about my tips for becoming a more resilient person. Again, I don't know everything. I don't really even know what I'm doing most of the time, but I do know that my resilience comes from the Lord, and I would not be half as resilient as I am and been able to get through things without Him. So thank you, God, for that. Here are my tips. First, I'm going in with a hydrating mist for my face and a little bit of cleanser. This is an oil-based cleanser. So I feel like one of the things that's been really helping me is journaling. I do journal every single day. I've done a really great job of showing up to journaling and processing some emotions that way, even when I don't really want to. If you guys saw my last video, I talked about the journaling technique that is literally changing my days for the better. So if you want to go see that video, I will link it up above. I think that if you can start to journal about your progress, or have a journal, like a go-to journal prompt about your progress, that could be super helpful to be. I would honestly love to start doing that. Like, just a quick little, like, hey, you're doing good because, you know, you've done this, and this. Like, these are your small little wins and like personal growth, and like that's amazing. And I'm proud of you for that. And kind of just write a little letter to yourself and just feeling really proud of all the work that you've been putting in. And so that when you have a moment of feeling like I'm scum of the earth, I am terrible, I literally suck, you can go and read that and see, no, I don't, and that is not true. Next, I'm going to use a serum and then go in with a peptide booster. This is going to help with my acne scars, which I'm very thankful for these products because, again, they are working for my skin. I have not found another like natural skincare brand that's worked as well as Veriglow, so super love them. Something that my therapist said after I told her about the movie incident with like feeling triggered by a movie, which I also talked about in my last video. I asked her, like, does that mean that I'm healing or that I'm not healing? Because like I was really triggered by that, but like I was able to get over it, but like I had like a freak out moment. I had to call my mom and I was like, help me, I feel like I don't know how to process these emotions around, you know, not having my person here with me anymore. And it just all came back up again even 8 months later. And my therapist just looked at me and she said, sweet girl, you cannot quantify your, you know, your healing through grief or your, you know, where you are in your progress by like percentages and saying, oh, well, now you're 25% healed, though, you know, you're down a few percentages or whatever. You can't quantify it because some days just are going to be harder, and some days and some things are just going to hit harder for you. And then that's okay. Slowly, those days will get less and less, and they will hit a little bit less hard on you. So I'm really grateful that she said that because I was able to feel really clear about some things after that. I'm just doing like a tiny little lymphatic massage because I just don't want to spend a ton of time here tonight. When I do this, my breakouts do start to clear up because you are bringing like blood flow to the surface of your skin, which does help to promote collagen, I believe, and that is helpful to like heal acne. Again, this is all information that I've heard. I have not done any of my own extensive research. I just know that when I do it, it does actually help to clear up my skin. I feel so nice. I feel so relaxed. Something that I think is so helpful is setting yourself up for success in terms of like doing things like that journal prompt for, you know, progress, and like maybe every week you just write a couple of things that were, you know, wins for you with your progress, so that it's set up so that when anything happens, you already have that to go back to. And I also found a old report card from my senior year of high school where I got all straight A's, and that was in the midst of doing so much. I think I worked 5 different jobs, and I also was planning a wedding. That piece of paper helps me to, it's just a good reminder for me. So for you, that's a sticky note that just says you can do it, or just a mantra for yourself. That is great, but stick it on your fridge or stick it on your bathroom mirror somewhere that you will see it. Going along with setting yourself up for success, it's really important that you have somebody that you can call. I literally had my mom on the phone for probably 4 hours on Sunday after the car accident happened. So to say that I just, did that all by myself and whatever would be an absolute lie. It's really hard to go through it all by yourself, and it can be really scary. Have that one person that you can call, and if you don't have a person that you can call, a friend or a family member, somebody who knows you really well and is going to be able to, help to remind you that you are an amazing person, because you are, and that you can do hard things, and that you are going to be okay, and all those things, then I would recommend getting plugged into a church, or not even plugged in, just reaching out. You can call them, you can email them, and they're not going to shove Jesus down your throat or anything. You don't even have to be religious or a believer, but they are there to help encourage and support you. They could probably even get you in touch with people that would be helpful in the community. And as well as, there is no shame in calling hotlines. Can I just tell you, friend, I have called my fair share of hotlines in the past, and I feel shame about that for some reason in this weird way, but there really shouldn't be any shame about that. There's no reason to be shameful for calling a hotline. If you need help, they are there to help you, and literally nobody knows that you called. No one. So I think I'm done. I hope that you guys liked this video. I hope that these tips and kind of me just sharing these vulnerable examples and this vulnerable time in my life is helpful to you guys. I am literally so grateful to have this community. I can't even tell you how much it means to me that you're here, and you matter, and you are so important, and you are so amazing and incredible, and you're gonna do incredible things because you already have before, and you are progressing no matter what you feel like in this moment. You are making progress. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.